Yeah, well, first, just want to thank, gosh, what a great opening to our stadium. I mean, shoot, I had tears in my eyes when we showed up today. It's unbelievable. Just want to thank everybody that was here and the great stadium we've got to play in, the great crowd. It was electric. Going down that Blazer walk was just, I mean, it'll be something I never forget. And just want to thank everybody that was part of that. Like I said before, there's tons of heroes. First half, I thought we played well, and it was back and forth. Should have been up 10-0. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that call. I thought it was a terrible call. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I thought it was terrible. I don't really I've ever seen a guy score and then to get a call behind him, and then we end up losing 30 yards. Maybe I should have kicked a field goal right there. To be 3-3 at half, I mean, we had to make a stop down there, a couple stops, really hold them to a field goal. Thought we probably, I felt pretty good coming out the second half, and I think we just started running out of gas, and I'm not going to make excuses. We do have a lot of guys beat up on defense. I think you guys know that. Offensively, we went from moving the ball to weren't able to get a first down. We're really going to have to go back and look at it, give them credit. Shoot, I felt like they had our dang signals the way they were playing us defensively because they really turned it up on us, and then, everything they threw. We'd go to man, they'd catch us in man. We mixed in zone. Give Willis credit. He was as good as advertised. I think he threw the ball, went back 15 times to throw the ball in the first half, and he ran it 7. And so that was something we expected, But he's very accurate, very strong. But I think they just wore on us second half. Wore us on the second half, and then we struggled so much offensively. We kept having to go back out there. But it was a whole team. Give them credit, though. They've got a really good team.
Coach, I know it's not the outcome that you guys had hoped for on this home opener in your new stadium, but just walk us through you touched a little bit on your emotions, but how do you feel like this takes you guys a step forward for this program in the city of Birmingham tonight, just seeing everything?
Well, I apologize. I mean, my number one, and I try and put everybody on my back, and I want to win so bad for our people, and we've had such great success here. But just the atmosphere, the stadium, the people, I mean, it was everything we've dreamed of. It really is. And, even had some lightning and some rain, and people got back in here. I mean, and it was a great first half. I mean, it was everything it was built up to be. And, we went at halftime to come back to win the game, and but just really, really disappointed, disappointed for our fans, disappointed for our kids, and I always feel responsible when that happens. So, it starts with me. So, but I am very appreciative, and it was, gosh, it was as good as advertised, is what we hoped it would be. It was better. I guess it was even better than I hoped. That walk, when we came out of the hotel, it was unbelievable. So just really appreciative to everybody.
Coach, I know you've talked about before, as long as you've been coach here, having like a team that is men of character who respond well to adversity and bounce back. So I'm sure that they'll do the same this time. But just can you talk sort of how this fits into that larger story for you of just having guys that are always ready to bounce back and be ready for the next one?
Yeah, I think that's everything. And I think, obviously we've all seen how good Georgia is, but that was a humiliating defeat for us, and then we came back and played super well the next week. I didn't see any leftovers. I mean, we talked about it, and I told them, I said, guys, this game is huge because it's the next game. It's our home opener, but the next week's even bigger, and I've been saying this all year to anybody that wanted to hear it. I mean, this is probably one of the toughest schedules we've ever played. We were in a all-out war last week, and you just sometimes you got to be lucky with injuries, and you lose a few guys that you don't need to lose, and then all of a sudden a guy, we lose a guy for a targeting or whatever else, and now your depth is really hurting. But once again, I don't want to make it like that's an excuse or anything. It's just kind of what we're dealing with. But we got to come back. It sounds like a good FAU team coming in here. I really hadn't looked ahead at them, but everything I hear about them is good. I think them and Marshall were picked to win their side of the league, and we just happen to be getting both of them. So we gotta put this one behind us. The 24-hour rule, and literally move on quickly. And that's what we talked about in there, and that's what I saw in their eyes, and that's what we did after Georgia.
You saw Willis there in the second half, just breaking loose of tackles, getting out of the backfield. How much was that? As you alluded to, just the defense kind of tiring out with the offense not able to stay okay on the field versus just what Willis can do on his own. Like I said, he was just a really strong guy. He was just shredding guys all the
Yeah, I've been worried about him since I knew we were playing him. I mean, he's just that good, and he's an accurate thrower. I mean, so that's the difference, you know. And I used to talk about these guys in high school where we would see the guy that was the best athlete on the field. You know, this is late 80s, 90s, before really college football was doing that, where they had a guy who could run and throw equally well. But we would see that guy a lot of times in high school. And it's just, I mean, what do you do? You know, they got run game, they got throw game, and then, I mean, we're sitting down there how many times where we're all over him. And we're normally a pretty good tackling team. I mean, we wrap up every day. We tackle. We don't tackle to the ground, but we lock up every single day. But as we wore down, you know, and he hit us in man a couple times where I thought we were in great position. You know, give their receivers credit. We were all over them. So, you know, I knew it, and I knew we were going to have to score. You know, we were going to score, and then we struggled, and we didn't, you know. First half, I thought we moved the ball well, but we struggled the second half. But this was a team, you know, it wasn't just the offense, or it was all of us.
What's those last two kind of scoring plays do for this team going forward, the block kick return and the run by Brown?
Yeah, I think everything is do you quit or not. I mean, and everything tells you to give in. And that's what I'm always looking for is how do they handle that? Because that's real adversity. I mean, you're at home, you got all your family here, everything tells you, and you know, to give in, and we didn't, you know. That's why we went for the onside kick. I mean, we're still trying to win this game. You know, if there's a second left, we're trying to win it. So I think that's the message to our players always. We never quit, we never give in, and I think you saw that out of our guys.
Any final questions?
I was just curious, have you ever seen a guy called before get called for targeting on an onside kick?
Never have. I think they'd called that one before he even hit him, it sounded like. I mean, I saw flags floating in the air, I guess, you know. Anyway, that was a new one.
Last one, Patrick.
Coach, big storyline last year was you know, when you had that home winning streak, and now you and Colby just came in here and talked about being, you know, sorry you wanted to come out and win this game, but at the same time you got to see a sense of pride from your guys to have a place they call their own.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that pride you saw from them today, to just finally being here with pads on and playing another team?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I was worried about the emotions we would have, and these are the things that I worry about in a big time game, you know, because that's what it was. Guys were taking pictures. We'd not seen the locker room since it had been redone, and so we got guys in there taking pictures, and I'm like, guys, I want you to love it. I want you to love the crowd. I want you, but we got this game to go win. So now, you know, the next thing we got to do is we got to settle into. We got this great home. You know, and as I've said before, we could go play in a parking lot, and we still got to play. But we've got a great home, and now let's make it our home. You know, let's make it our home. But I really meant everything I said, that it is that nice. We are that appreciative. They did love it that much. And you know, we got to get used to it now and go, okay, you know, let's come in here and win the next game.